Good morning, class. Good morning. I want to get into Real Housewives of Potomac as well as Married to Medicine. All right, that is why we're here. So let me go ahead. Before we actually get into Real Housewives of Potomac's like review for the show, I came across this post. I have to shout out No Chaser TV because I want to pull up something really quickly. And I want us to flash back to a moment. So, y'all remember Ashley Darby brought the news to Sharice where she talked about her having some involvement with her son, right? So, we got into that. Sharice went on to do an interview with Carlos King, and things kind of grew from there. Ashley Darby came out, she spoke out. Giselle and Robin gave their spiel on how they felt about the situation. And I want us to flash back to what Giselle said in that podcast episode with Robin. So let us go ahead and get this up on the screen. Let me make sure audio is up. Let's check it out.
My thoughts are, um, I hear you, but that part, it's not I don't care about. What I care about today is Sharice. We discussed it on camera. Yes. Me, Ashley, Sharice. I personally thought when Ashley was was in the process of mentioning it, I thought Sharice was going to like flip a table, go to hell off, go crazy. I don't know anything. None of that happened. Okay, great.
Right.
And saying, so she's giving the same energy that you just described, Robin. Jackson's grown. He can do what he wants, which he is. And so is Ashley. Ashley's a beautiful girl. And Sharice has for years made comments about Ashley being her daughter-in-law. And,
Right.
they were flirty, and that would be so cute, blah, blah, blah. So there's
Yeah.
no issue here. Okay.
Right.
Then when it was brought up again in a whole nother scene, Sharice had the same energy. Like she kind of like thought it was funny. It was kind of cute, whatever. You can't then let the fans gas you up to then have a moment, to then have an issue off camera.
Right.
Like, no, that's just, I think it's ridiculous. And then how I'm catching strays is beyond me. Okay.
Right.
And how Sharice is rewriting history is beyond me. And I'm
Yeah.
not even, we'll get into the weeds of that because there's just like actually no need. But it's crazy because Grace says to me when this all kind of hit, have you talked to Sharice? Like, why don't you just call her? And I was like, no, I haven't talked to Sharice. And she said, well, when was the last time you talked to her? And I said, let me think. And I said, you know what? We had filmed season 10. We had wrapped on it. And the week after, NECA invited me out to celebrate Sharice for Sharice's birthday. You were invited too, Kevin.
Yeah.
You couldn't make it. I could. So no cameras. I went to go celebrate Sharice. At the table was NECA, Sharice, me, Ashley. Well, we celebrated Sharice. Sharice had no smoke. She had no fire. We ate dinner. We left there, went to the club, took her to the club because she wanted to go dancing. No smoke, no fire. Sharice had a grand old time. So I just don't know how then Giselle and Ashley, but I'll just speak for myself, are horrible people, bad friends, make up lies, wanted to push her out of Potomac. All these things that are simply not true.
Yeah.
So now that I know, Sharice, how you really feel, now that I know, I will govern myself accordingly. My thoughts are.
So basically, she told her, cool, I'm falling back in so many words, right? Make sure you guys are coming into the video. You're liking up the video for me. We have a good amount of people in here, but we don't even have half the amount of likes. So y'all already know how I am. You know how I am. Like the video. So I wanted to play that portion before we get into the review because Giselle was confused as to why she was catching any strays. She didn't understand how she was being considered a bad friend, right? Let's check out what Ashley Darby had to say more recently, okay, when she talked about this.
Secret.
Let's pause, okay? So the source is Cocoa Butter. So I'm believing Ashley went over there, had to sit down with Cocoa Butter, talked about some things. Let's check this out real quick.
Keeper for me is Giselle, because Giselle knew about my little tryst with Jackson and she never told Charisse. I told Giselle like the day after it happened, and this was like 2 years ago. So yeah, we've been holding secret keeper. Secret keeper for me is Giselle, because Giselle knew about my little tryst with Jackson and she never told Charisse. I told Giselle like the day after it happened, and this was like 2 years ago. So yeah, we've been holding it for quite a while.
What did Giselle say?
She cackled. She cackled, and then she was like, how was it? How did his lips feel? You know, and so we had a whole little kiki about it. Best secret keeper for me is Giselle. Okay.
And then Giselle sat up here and was confused as to why Charisse Sleek felt the way about her. She was confused as to why she was catching strays. She was confused as to why Charisse felt like you aren't really a good friend, because BITCH, you knew what Ashley did the day after it happened. Girl, ain't that messy as hell? And what did Ashley call Giselle? The best secret keeper for her. Child, that's so messy, honey. But I'm sorry, I don't feel completely bad for Charisse, y'all, because you know, a lot of things that she said in that interview, kind of calling them out as people, they lie, they this and that. It's like, but you was cool with being friends with them, though. You know how they show up, you know how they are, and you were good with it until it's your turn. I can't feel all the way there with her, but you know, it's cool. It's cool. I just had to play that because when I saw that, I said, "Girl, now what? Now she knew about this, but she just sat up there and said she was confused when she ain't doing that." Oh, okay then. And these the same people that, according to Charisse, pretty much played her out her position because she wasn't bringing nothing to the show. So I guess they was talking to the producers. Producers called her and said, "Yeah, we finna bump you down to friend of because of X, Y, Z." Girl, they just everybody crazy. Okay, that's the short answer. All right, let us go ahead and get into this review for the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, if you're just now joining us, go ahead and like the video for me if you have yet to do so, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. First things first, y'all know we pick up where we left off on last week with Giselle and Ashley getting ready to leave. They're pretty much pushing the narrative that Angel was indeed evicted. And Angel is confused on where they're getting this from because they're saying they have more information on this. So Angel is ready to shut it down, and she's like, okay, well then let's talk. All right, let me know who has what so we can go ahead and get this out in the open. What's going on? Right? So when she asks, who knows more about my life than I do, Wendy takes this opportunity, and I'm finna go and put this out here, y'all. I have been team Wendy for a very long periodically time. And when I tell you I am hanging on the doors of the bus as it is driving through the neighborhood, like I am hanging on to the doors of the bus because, girl, you are about to get on my nerves. I do not care about you stands of hers, okay? She finna get on my damn nerves, okay? I never want to see Wendy on this side of nothing. All right. Because I mean, although I understand that her and Angel have had their issues and stuff like that. So, number one, I definitely understand that Wendy owes Angel nothing. But at the same time, it does kind of come off as if she's doing some bidding or something of Giselle's a little bit. It's just something about it that I don't really like, you know? So, it's just like, Wendy, please don't. Please don't. But let's get into it. So, Dr. Wendy says, well, my real estate agent friend who she talked to says that you were looking for a house that was about $14,000, but only willing to pay or able to pay $1,000. That irritated me because number one, BITCH, we ain't even on that. We really own the information that Ashley and Giselle claim they know. So that's really who she talking about. And it's like, hey, bring to the front what you talking about. So if you all are like, I have this information, then yeah. If I wish Angel, like how Angel is showing up now after the fact on different platforms and stuff, I can appreciate, but I wish you gave us more of this in the actual season, quick on your feet to say, I'm gonna get to you in a second though. Like the way it would have been a moment for Wendy, the way it would have been a shut up, girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm addressing these, so I'll get to you in a second though. But y'all too, what was it? You want to run that? So what's this information that y'all claim y'all know about me? Like, I wanted her to address them first, then we could get to Wendy and what Wendy talking about, right? That didn't happen. Wendy, you're bringing this up, and the reason why it's like, one, when you're playing telephone, by the time it gets back to the person that is about, it's all these different things that's mixed up. So I don't know what was really told to Wendy and if it was told to her at all. But what I will say is the numbers that she's giving in this moment, I it sounded like they were different numbers when they all sat down for dinner, her, Ashley, and Giselle. Like, I don't think the number, because I was like, where $1,000 came from? Even Tia and them was looking like, girl, what? Like, what's $1,000? What rent? Who? Girl, a studio apartment ain't even $1,000. Okay, a little rectangle box up there in New York, not even $1,000. I'm so, and y'all closer to New York than the South, so I'm a little confused on where did you get this thousand? Like, and then for you to even add the willing or able to pay, like, ugh, I cringe. I cringe because now you making it sound worse than what it is, and this is why it's hard for me to feel bad for you a little piece when these investigators come to the front, because I understand their job is going to make situations sound worse than what it is, right? When you get these charges put on you, because they got to go and prove that stuff, okay? However, it's like shoulder shrug. After seeing how you did that, it's like, yeah, let them add more to the damn story then, Wendy. What else did you do? Pam. Okay. That just really irked me. It's like that lady, like, really, and then it's like, really think about what you're saying. Okay. Really think about what you're saying. For you wanted to get a house that looked like it was $14,000 a month, but only willing and able to pay 1,000. What logic does that make? Like, that don't even make sense to me. I don't know. I couldn't take it. I didn't like it. All right. And then the numbers that you said last time isn't lining up. Just like them numbers on that insurance paperwork wasn't lining up, which is why y'all ass got this case now. Okay. So anywho, Angel says my rich ass spent 14 racks a month on the property, and whoever told you that was very wrong. So my question is, when she says 14,000 on a property, I'm thinking she's talking about an Airbnb that she rented, or whatever that home, that vacation rental she had out there in Potomac. I'm believing that was 14,000 a month. Okay, in my head. Now Giselle says, I overheard Giselle busting out saying something like she didn't want to work with her, and I'm like, well, who didn't want to? Like, are you saying Angel didn't want to work with her, or the lady didn't want to work with Angel? It sounded like the lady didn't want to work with Angel because Angel, I guess, was being cheap or something like that. So Wendy says, when people were kind of like debunking the story, and Tia and all of them, Wendy said, oh, she's a good realtor. And she isn't the only one saying that. Okay. She says the realtor has no reason to lie on Angel. Well, by your logic, then the investigators ain't got no reason to lie on you. The way it, and you know what? Let's put Wendy's charges to the side. Even if Wendy did not have these charges, which is making it that, and the way she's showing up on this show is making it that much more easier for people to drag the shit out of her, she still wouldn't look good to me. She still would not look good in my eyes. Like, girl, why? Why are you continuing to push this narrative in a sense? That's crazy. Angel says that she doesn't know if she said this because it didn't. She's like, I don't know if this lady said this because it didn't work out with her finding us a property, and she feels a way about that. Like, I don't really know. But my thing is, if the lady is such a good real estate agent, why would she even tell you that, knowing how close in proximity you guys are. Like, why would she even tell you that? And then why would she tell you that when Angel, in my opinion, just off of having a connection to an NFL player who likely has other connections with other NFL players, could potentially use her as a realtor at a later time? Why would she then tell you that and then jeopardize her other opportunities? Some about that, it's not working for me. It's just not making sense, okay? So Stacy says, why don't we call the realtor? And then Angel is like, not today, not today. Let me finish what I'm saying, okay? So I don't know why she would not call this realtor to clarify that. And, the fact that her and the realtor could not figure out something with the home, they could have ended on a bad note. Maybe Angel wrote her off and said, hey, we gave you this amount of time to find us a home. You didn't. So we're going to move forward with somebody else or whatever. I don't know how they ended on. I don't know what note they could have ended on or whatever. She didn't feel like calling her at the time. I feel like she could have, go ahead and call her and get it resolved. You know what I'm saying? And then I wouldn't have been upset if Wendy would have called her. You brought it to the front. Call her. But now when people are like, call her, you don't want to call her. Now it's, Angel, clean up your SHI. Now it's Angel clean up her SHI when Angel wasn't even the one to bring this to the group. You did. So why you can't clean it up? Right? So then Wendy turns to, and for me, right? For me, this is a bit of deflection to me. Unless it comes out that what Wendy was saying was actual factual, I can't. Right? Wendy comes and turns to Stacy and says, now, when it was your turn to call, did you want to call? The way I would have had to snap on her, like, when it was your turn to call TJ, did you call? No, I didn't. But I also told y'all to go ahead and call Chris when y'all tried to put that other lie on me. You probably didn't participate, but we got him on the line, though, didn't we? And it's like, I wish Stacy would have been thinking like, no, I didn't in that moment with TJ, but I made sure that a call was made to Chris to clarify anything that was being said wrong. Okay, be very clear about that. So it's like you trying to deflect over there, but then Stacy, Stacy, what did Stacy say? She was like, there are two different situations. That one's personal, and then this one's business. And I'm like, girl, they really not. They really not. The situations might be a little bit different, but at the same time, no. Like, you can call business right there. You can call personal right there. If it's a business situation and you now talking shit about my finances or whatever, like, now it's personal. Okay. So I disagree. Also, I just don't like the fact that Wendy is extremely adamant about said realtor telling her this information as though it's fact. Like, this person has no reason to lie. You sure? Okay. And it's also given either you lying, the realtor lied, or the realtor could have said something and then you took it and you twisted it similar to what Giselle does. That's just what it gives. So Stacy says she said it's different with business, all of that. Angel says her business is opening in 2026. Now, I kind of thought the business was already open. So what other business is open? Like, are y'all expanding? Is there something else you're doing? Like, what else is going on? I don't know. But she just said it's something is open. I don't know if it's Wonderland or if it's another company. But either way, she said her business is opening in 2026. And whoever wants to make up lies about her, she hopes they can make up better ones. I said, now, Angel, I'm with you on that one. Now, she does want to move on, have a mindful moment. Whoever doesn't understand it, she don't really give a damn, okay? Wendy gonna ask, how many times are we gonna be doing this mindfulness and no one's being mindful? And why you not participating with us? Like, why you not down here on the floor, okay? And I'm like, I don't know. Wendy, how many times y'all gonna act like y'all having these damn come to Jesus moments? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk it out. Let's sort things out. And then y'all be up here on some other bullshit. So I guess y'all mindful less in a lot of situations. So this ain't no damn different. Anywho, so Angel mentions getting to know the ladies deeper when it comes down to it. What are your intentions? She wants to get to know the ladies deeper. I'm with Ashley. Ashley did say, like, girl, you've said this quite a few times, honey. And you ain't really done much to let us or to try to let us in or get to know us or whatever, right? So I hear that, but then I also feel like y'all can make it difficult. Y'all be feeling like y'all could treat and talk to people and do any kind of thing and then expect them to be open arms, and everybody don't really work like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't really work like that. But anywho, so Giselle says she just wants a room with a bathroom. I can't fault Giselle. At this point, everybody just wants some damn running water. Those are her intentions. The ladies think Kay is high as a kite. The ladies think Kay is high as a kite. I don't know what Kay got going on. I definitely think that it is related to the altitude. I do recall Giselle giving her some medication, and everybody reacts differently to medication, so maybe it got her crying. Maybe she didn't take enough of it. I don't know. But that's what Kay got going on. Okay. Giselle tells Monique that she doesn't want a single bed. Like, she don't want to be in there. So she's still thinking about getting a hotel. Monique asks Angel, how many rooms are at your house? Oh, okay. You said 6. So why Giselle can't stay the whole? Why is you here? Why is you here? Why Giselle can't stay there? Why you worried about what Giselle laying her head at? Get her your room. Don't police my house. And see, that's going to be your issue with me. Okay? That's what Angel should have told her. That's going to be your issue with me, girl. Scoot back up out my business just a little piece. Okay? That lady saying, well, I got 6 rooms. I got my kids. Bobby got his man cave or whatever like that. These 2 ladies, like, I'm occupied. Like, it's too many. Scoot back, girl. Damn. All right. So Monique, Wendy, Giselle, and Ashley are talking, right? Of course, they talk about the realtor or whatever. Monique was like, I would have called her right then. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you would have, actually. I don't believe you would have called her right then. But maybe you would have. Giselle says that she wouldn't be upset about the word evicted if she wasn't evicted. I feel like, Giselle, based on your logic, you also think that a person shouldn't be offended by you saying they were trying to come on to you in a hotel room if they didn't really come on to you in a hotel room, knowing that none of that happened in the way that you tried to say. I don't be understanding that with these shows sometimes. I understand we're filming a show, but if we're still keeping the reality a part of the show, I'm just so confused as to why y'all get to say what y'all want and people are not supposed to react or feel a certain way. So much so, sometimes us audience, like viewers, will even say something ain't that deep. Like, just move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is what they do. Yeah, but she's still offended. Like, she still got feelings in the moment. If she offended, she offended. Now, if Angel would have hauled off and cussed their ass out like Dr. Wendy did, and see, honestly, that's what you should have did, because I feel like that's the only thing that they really know how to react to. Everybody loved to say when Candace was on the show, Candace's mouth, her mouth, but she knew how to back you up off her. And obviously, Angel's not doing enough to get y'all up off her. Okay? So that's how you got to show up. I know you want to be demure, poised, and all of that. You're representing yourself and your husband, but you're going to have to dig in there. It's just a little piece, okay? To get them up off you. Giselle says that she wouldn't be upset about it. Angel says that Giselle was mad because she thought she had a got you moment, okay? But it really made her look stupid again. And Angel says that she keeps her business tight. This is what she's saying. Now, Angel, I'm going to have to clock you on that because I don't feel like you do keep your business that tight. Because if your business was that damn tight, you would have made sure that you secured long enough of time, okay? Or at least had an alternative lined up. Okay, when it came down to filming, you underestimated that filming time. You should have been inquiring about what is a realistic range. Okay, okay, so it could go anywhere from 4 to 6 months, whatever the case is. And I feel like, yeah, it wasn't that damn tight on that day. So Angel says the issues they have are made up and it's based off of jealousy. That's what she's saying. Okay, now she says the house they are staying in is a $1.6 million house, and they over there not being appreciative. And we quickly learn why they not, honestly. Okay? Honestly, like, Angel, despite the fact that that house costs that much money, the shit is underwhelming. Sorry, it really is. Okay? Let's go back to this comment about it's giving jealousy. Maybe it is. Is it? Is it giving jealousy? It could be. Not jealous over that particular home they're staying in, but maybe jealousy over your coinage and what you got. Maybe. And I'm sure some people would dispute that. But if you were one of the people that went up for Monique telling Giselle she had 4 homes, I have 4 homes, and you thought 4 homes was so much of a damn gag that Giselle was jealous of that, then consider the possibility that she could be in her feelings about this too. Okay? It's, in my opinion, it's just that simple. Okay? So the ladies hate that they are also separated and says that Angel is hosting at her home, only Tia and Kay. I kind of agree with that. All right, it is given she's only hosting Tia and Kay. I am fucking screaming. And she got them folks all the way out. But also, I'm not gonna fully blame Angel because I'm gonna blame production. Because as production, why would y'all even want to sit up there having a setup breakdown? Okay, load y'all cameras, get your lenses on, do this, headset, all of this, unload all of that shit after a long time of filming, and then gotta drive an hour back. Like, yeah, y'all didn't think about that? Like, ain't nobody do the landscaping? Who's the scout location person on set? Like, what? Y'all didn't want to look at that and break that down? Like, oh, girl, this may be too far here, honey. Like, you ain't got nothing closer? I don't know. Anywho, I loved Angel's home. Very beautiful. Loved that the gates opened up and they got all this motherfucking land. I love it. Huge home. Okay. I feel like that land in that house is eating up them damn 4 homes that Mo said she had. Okay. Love it. Now, what I will say though, Angel, I would have expected y'all to at least have another guest house on the property. Don't put your hands on me, girl. I would have expected with all this land, okay, that y'all would have had at least another guest house on this property. All right. Now, Giselle, Wendy and Monique, they trying to help figure out the situation for Ashley and Giselle because they really don't want them to leave. And Giselle and Ashley, you know, they really gag because they weren't expecting such treatment as veterans in my personal, okay? But Angel got their ass back. Like, I may not like it for real. Like, it may suck. Like, because if I was in this situation, I'd be pissed too. I'll be a little mad. I mean, I wouldn't trip off of the bed size. But for me, I'm butt so big. Like a twin size bed, I'm only going to be here for a few days. So I really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trip off that. But the other stuff that's going on, I would definitely feel away. Definitely feel away. Angel did decide to plan like a welcome dinner for the ladies and stuff, so they get ready to come to her house. On the way there, though, Monique is checking with her son, and her son's not feeling good, and she's like, "Where are you?" or whatever the case is, and that's when she goes into the spiel about Chris just being a poor communicator. He don't really communicate well at all, but are we surprised? Because how Monique was talking, that's how he showed up in a marriage. So not surprised that he's showing up like that afterwards. Giselle and Ashley ended up staying, and Giselle said that she doesn't want to poo-poo on Angel's trip. So it seems like she's still giving her a chance, right? But I'm like, based on the previews for the next episode, you don't want to SHI on her trip, but then you want to take over the damn trip. You sure you don't want to shit on it? Because that's what that's giving. From next episode. Now, Monique decides to break the fourth wall, and she lets everybody know that she's hosted 2 trips, and although the network will cover some expenses, she says it is their job as housewives to be on point with production. So how I took that as they may have allotted so much of money. Now, if there's some extras that you just want to do on your own, maybe giving gifts or something like that, you could do those extra things. If there's some activities and stuff, you could do those. You just gotta, stay up to date, stay in the know with us, because we also have to send cameramen out there. We got certain things we need to do and stuff. So just keep us up to date on everything that you're trying to do for your trip. We're gonna pay for a bulk of it though, a good majority of it, right? That's what I heard when she said that. I was surprised she was kind of like exposing that part. I was surprised, not even so much as her exposing it, because they talk about a lot of stuff, but they only clip what they want us to know. So I thought it was interesting that Bravo kept that piece in to let us know that, yeah, after all of these years, you guys are right. We do help them pay for these events and all of that. So, okay, and these trips. So there's that. Monique says that there are other things that Angel has going on and that she's not sharing. And she says that she's experienced this and she can see right through it. I don't know. Because I feel like Monique got a bit of a point, but I think that it's different at the same time. right? I think that Monique can relate to Angel and how Angel shows up as a wife a bit. But I think the dynamics of Bobby versus Chris are different, right? And then we just got to see more of Bobby. I don't know if Bobby shows up as, because see, like Bobby seems to me, and I could be wrong, Bobby want to be there, like, you know, with his kids. Like, he wants to help out. Remember, she was playing this something, and Bobby was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this, so y'all ain't got to worry about that. Get that out the way. Angel does the most of, no, baby, we gonna do that together. You ain't got to worry about that. Like, she wants that's how she likes to show up. It doesn't seem like Bobby is requiring her to show up a certain kind of way. I think she overly shows up based on that wag life, and or be clear now, maybe they have had a little, I don't know, something in the past. I don't think it's the same as Monique and Chris, but it may be something, right? Because I do have to flash back. I do have to flash back to when they were on that trip. Remember? They was on that trip. I think it was Giselle's trip. And it was real weird where they were talking about one thing. This girl said that you had a nasty attitude. You were mean. Now, I'm going to get y'all right out the gate. Angel is uppity as fuck. Angel is bougie as fuck. Okay? She got them that type of house for a fucking reason. Ain't nobody finna change my mind right now. Okay? She definitely enjoys the finer things in life, but you just ain't. So I'm gonna put you over here, and if you think I'm finna come stay at that house with you, you hoes gotta be fucked up, bitch. I'm not finna stay in that. Like, Angel is very like bougie. I think she does give that type of nose in the air. The shit that Giselle be trying to do, I think Angel does give that. But when she was on that trip, when that girl was saying, oh, you know, somebody hit me up and she said X, Y, and Z about you, when Angel went on to rant about it, it seemed like it was a completely different situation where this chick tried to like lie and set her up or whatever the case was and all that. She goes outside. She's on the phone with her man. Kay comes back in and says she's going through something as if her and her man going through something. So I'm like, well, what's that about? So I feel like Bobby may not necessarily be controlling from what we've seen. He may not be trying to keep her pregnant like Chris was trying to do with Monique. He probably wasn't trying to pass everything off to her for her to do, but it still may be something there. I mean, maybe he cheated, or maybe she feels the need to overly show up in a way based on how she sees other couples operate in the wag world or something. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that. So I don't know. But I don't think Monique is completely wrong, but some part of it does give a little bit of projecting, and it may not be the exact same thing that she's saying. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. Right? So that's that. Jazzy says that she hasn't experienced this in the wag world. As a wife, she may be right. As a girlfriend, IDK. Because Jazzy has only been married for about a month at this point. So I don't know. Okay. Jazzy says that she wouldn't basically she wouldn't want somebody's ex being compared to her current husband. Yep. I'm sorry, I agree. Like, girl, don't be, because I do feel like if the roles were reversed, Monique she wouldn't want Angel doing this shit to her. Okay? It's like, girl, don't be projecting that shit on to me. Okay? Like, So it could be something like completely different. I don't really see Bobby showing up how Chris was. Like, I feel like when Chris was on the scene, Chris definitely gave lazy to me, but the best thing about him was his pockets. I don't really get that from Bobby, but y'all let me know. Y'all may have seen something different. I don't know. Okay? Let's see. Monique says that she's been there when she was very sensitive about her man, right? And like, I've been there. I was very sensitive about it. And that's because you were also trying to keep up an image. I think people, I mean, maybe she's different. Maybe her sensitivity towards her marriage is much different for different reasons. You know, y'all see what I'm saying? Like, I just think it could just be different. Like, maybe she's not trying to keep up a particular image for the people. It could be something completely different. Like, that's her unit. That's what she wants to protect. Like, I don't know. Like it just, I just need to see more of Bobby to see that that's how he is, as Monique is trying to portray him out, trying to relate him so close to Chris Samuels, right? The ladies pull up, they see the house, they think it's beautiful. Ashley says the home is beautiful. Clearly, there are no issues here with the land. Y'all ain't got no rooms here. I holler. I said, baby, let me tell you something, Angel. All that land, you should have rented these hoes RV. You should have got them a RV or two. I don't know, maybe rented you a little piece of a double wide then for them to be there. Especially production was gonna pay for most of it. Let them roll that shit right on over there on the land, and I'll be over here, and only these people can stay in my house, and the rest of y'all can find y'all rooms over there in that trailer that we don't rent it out for y'all for this little piece. Maybe she could have did that. Maybe, and they wouldn't have been so damn far. All right. So what else is going on? Bobby. So hold on, let me see. Let me check my notes. Okay, so Stacey thinks that Bobby won't allow the ladies to stay at the house. And I'm like, Stacey, I like you, girl, but let's not talk about what husbands don't want. Let's not talk about what husbands won't allow. Yours clearly won't allow you to grow an ass because he enjoys his being flat, right? So I'm just confused on why do we need to go there? Like what? And if he doesn't want y'all at his house, that man got a right. That's his house. Girl, what? Wow, what y'all? Why y'all trying to attack? I don't like that. I don't like that. Let the man give y'all more reasons. Damn. I don't know, y'all. We're gonna have to see. I don't know. Okay, Bobby ain't had it nothing to y'all. So cut that out. Anyway, so Stacey says Angel is showing more excitement for Giselle than her own husband. All because she knows the type of drinks that Giselle likes, and she wanted to give her whatever that was, whatever the thing was she did. That's more excitement. That's more excitement for Giselle than her own husband. That's insane. Like, Stacey, don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. Barely see this lady interact with her husband, and you talking about who she show more. Girl, don't piss me off, girl. So Monique, she walks over there. She hugging on Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Oh, you remember me? I'm Monique. I'm Monique Samuels. Yeah, I kept the last name. Okay, Samuels. That's me. I used to talk to you on the phone quite a few years ago. You were in college. You remember me? He was like, oh, yeah. When your husband was trying to, I said, yeah, exactly. Angel, come back. Don't sit down. Come here, girl. Remember how you sat up there and you tried to be so very clear about the character of Chris Samuels that your ass do not know? Remember that? Girl, I ain't forget about it, love. This right here confirms y'all, you and Bobby wasn't even together when that man was in college. Talk about some, I know Chris, he's not like that. No, you don't. Shut up, girl. You don't know. And that confirmed it for me. Anyway, Angel takes the ladies down the stairs wherever they go to the backyard. Baby, this scene was a fucking, I was like, cut the cameras. Dead ass. Like, what is going on in the people? Angel tells these guys, introduces these guys sitting down. These guys have a nonprofit. One of the guys, I really don't give a fuck what none of y'all have. It's the fact that they went down the stairs and you niggas stayed your ass down there like these women came down to pamper y'all. Like, she brought the ladies out like she was parading them in front of the men. You can have whatever you like. Like, that's what it was given, and they just sitting there. Now, granny, it could have been edited out, but the fact that not one of you niggas stood up when women were entering the space, I just felt like, what? And then it's one thing, okay, cool. Maybe they had a long day. Maybe it's time, I don't know. Maybe they said, that's fine. At least say something like, oh, hey, how y'all doing? I'm such and such. You know, like, what? What is going on? Bobby, these your people? Because at least you stood up there, hugged the ladies, gave them a compliment. These can't be your people. So I want to believe that these guys greeted these women, but they didn't show that on camera. And I feel like the reason they probably did, because y'all likely was slow to react because that's what it was given. And then one of them puffing on his damn cigar smoke. Blow that smoke in my face again. And the lady's just looking so awkward, like standing up there. And it was a little piece of funny. Because it's like, damn, I thought we was the stars. I thought we was the stars coming in this space. Oh, my bad. Yeah, child, this was a fucking mess. Angel just wanted to show her proximity to more money. She really just wanted to rub it into their faces that I rub elbows with these type of people who y'all wish that y'all could rub elbows with. Right? The stuff that y'all try to portray and what you're supposed to be on Housewives, you're not. But I am. You want to talk about me being evicted? You want to talk about me wanting a $14,000 property, but only paying $1,000? Girl, this is the proximity to wealth that I am. If I'm disconnected with a person that managed billionaire accounts, what you think I got? That's why she did that. But nobody cared. I'm sorry. Nobody cared. I'm sorry. They didn't care. They didn't care. I see what you was doing. I understood the play. No, I get it. I get it. They just didn't give a damn. Because they was too stunned on the fact that nobody stood up to greet their ass to give a fuck about what they did. Because I don't give a damn. I wasn't even there and I don't care what they do for real. I don't give a fuck about it. Okay? So yeah, I'm with the ladies on that. So Monique, when I think this was the second time. The first time, she was like, oh, hey, I like this energy. She said it again. I'm liking this energy on you. What energy? I mean, she is in her space. She is where she's comfortable. You know, I think y'all said that Monique wasn't there, but I think they kind of hinted at that the first time when they came to her house for the first mindful session she did back in Potomac or whatever. She was in her element. It's like that. Jassy said, oh, so you don't like the other Angel, the other side of Angel? And Monique was like, not really. I was like, whoo. Do you know her enough? Do you know her enough? Because let's not act like Monique really been around for real. Like, you ain't even been around that many episodes. Jassy about been around more than you. Like, what? That's crazy. So Giselle asked about her finding something. Like, you couldn't find something closer. I was with Giselle. Like, girl, could you not? You couldn't find something. Now, please understand. I love that the girls have been gagged the hell out. You don't get to treat me any kind of way, throw shade, talk about catfish. I don't care nothing about none of y'all that's like, it's just a catfish, it's just a this and that. And you cannot say things to people and then expect them or tell them when they have to get over it. You really can't, right? So, with that being said, I love that she gagged the shit out their ass. I feel like Angel knew a lot when she booked this place. And maybe I'm wrong, but the distance alone is crazy. Okay? I definitely hear that they got the egg on their face. Okay? And I know some of y'all may feel like, well, there's more egg on Angel face. Yes and no. Yes, because it's her trip and she booked it. But then at the same time, bitch, I'm in luxury. I don't give a fuck. Like, this what happened when you talk shit. Okay? Since you think I am all that, okay, then I catfished the fuck out y'all when I brought y'all on this trip. Okay? How about that? That's what happened. You want to talk about a catfish? Boom, gotcha. Cheese. Like, what we talk about? Yeah, love it. However, at the same time, I am with Giselle because it's like, okay, bitch. I endured this for at least 48. At least 48. And 48 was really stretching it for me, girl. Okay? Like, we gonna have to make some changes up in this, okay? Oop, you got me. Oops. Oh, wow, you got me, girl. But I'm not gonna keep dealing with this shit. So I definitely understand, right? Angel tells her it was no availability. I kind of don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it was no availability. I feel like if it was the winter seasons, yes, I would think that it wasn't much availability. going out there to Colorado, but not at the time frame that they went. I don't live out there though. So a lot of y'all people in Colorado, let us know in the comments that's out there, know about the high season, all of that. I don't believe what Angel was saying. Right? I also feel like production went along with it because one, pricing, if they're staying out an hour out, then it's probably going to be cheaper. So it was easier on the network's pockets. But then also, they about thought it was going to be hilarious as hell because they, at this point, they know Giselle. At this point, they know Ashley. They know some of the ladies. So they already know how they're going to react. And this is going to be great TV. Let's go with it. Mhm. So Giselle says the house doesn't have water and it's, what she said, intermittent or something like that. Giselle said it's whack. I said, I agree. I ain't nothing like getting up and you think that you finna wash your face, wash your ass, and it ain't no water, especially after being out all day and you feel real icky. Oh, BIT, that's a problem. That's a problem. Now, I do understand these ladies are up in age, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what if somebody else was on their cycle or something? You can't wash your ass? That's crazy. Scoot over, Kiana, because I'm going to have to come down. I'm coming down. Okay? I'm going to have to come down. Scoot over, girl. But anywho, I do feel like the distance was, it was just far. I mean, no water is far as hell. It's funny as fuck though. Love to see it. So Giselle brings up Stacey and Tia's issues, and Stacey says that Tia jumped on the Stacey hate train, and she pretty much flipped from her to Angel or whatever. And I do agree. Tia says that she knows who she is because I think Stacey said she didn't know who Tia was, or so I'm having a hard time knowing who you are. And she was like, nah, girl. She said, I know exactly who I am. Okay, I don't know who the hell you are because you're the one that sat up here and misrepresented your goddamn self. That's what you're not finna do. Okay, Tia says everything people say about you is true and everything you say out your mouth is a lie. Be clear about that. Okay, she brought up the Chris situation. Kay telling her that Stacey reached out to Chris, told him everything. Baby Tia was so adamant that Stacey lied, saying she didn't know that man whole time. Stacey was telling him she did know him. She was familiar with him. She just wasn't close to him like that. Baby, the way production was tagging the hell out of Tia, I'm wondering how y'all gonna handle that at the reunion. What y'all thinking now that y'all didn't have the story all the way right? Okay. Stacey calls Tia a liar, you know. Ashley thinks that Stacey is getting caught in a lie every which way. And I'm like, not really. Not really. Y'all are though, but not really. Nobody's saying that Stacey is perfect, right? Stacey does have some things that don't make sense, but on this particular matter here with the Chris shit, y'all look stupid. Okay? So Stacey says, if it doesn't matter to the people it actually affects, then why does it matter to you? Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. So Tia says, you know, Stacey, you agitate my spirit. And Monique said, damn, I'm not Monique. But Giselle was like, damn, I'm gonna have to use that. So this is where she tells Monique, like, pretty much like, you're going to see for yourself. It's well documented. Why would I lie? And I'm like, girl, it's well documented that you is lying. So I don't know. Tell the people. Just, you misheard her. Okay? So Mo says that Stacey told her no, and now she's wondering how the story has changed 10 minutes later. I guess told her, like, no, she never told Chris anything. Now the story is changing. Basically assuming that Stacey is lying. And I feel like Monique really wants to believe that Stacey is an op. Right? But she ain't got no evidence to go along with that. She only got he say, she say, so she gonna have to let her ride into the sunset. She said something like, Stacey said, well, the heart of the matter is that, girl, I ain't say shit to Chris. Okay, so what you're not gonna do is try to put that on me. I didn't say anything to that man. Okay, Mo is like, I'm starting to get letters from his attorneys threatening me because of defamation and this and that. And I'm like, girl, what you're not gonna do is put any of that on Stacey. You're not going to put none of that on nobody at this table but yourself. Because the moment you came onto this show and you share your side of the story, that man was going to send you that, period. And probably was going to send you that off of you writing that book in general. So what we not going to do is act like Stacey did something when he was going to get you anyway. You go and sit down in the interview and you get your side. That man finna send you a letter. Because that's how he is. Based on your words, that's how he is. So let's not put that off on somebody else as if, oh, she ran back and told this information, so now I'm receiving this letter. You was finna get that anyway the moment he found out that you were returning to the show. Okay? There's that. Mo says something was said with intensity and malice she feels. And it's like nothing had to be said with intensity and malice back to Chris. Just the simple things that you've already said about him, you'll never enter me again, whatever the case was enough for that man to be like, I don't want you to talk. Okay, the fact that you divorced him, let's go there. The fact that you just said in a car that you no longer wanted to be married to him, but you know for a fact he still wanted to be married to you is enough for him to send you a letter. And we can go further than that. The fact that his mama never liked you, the fact that his mama been on your head top and now y'all getting a divorce is enough for him to want to send you that damn letter anyway, to shut you the hell up when it comes to him, because the mama about was already putting that in his damn head. Okay, so there's that. And then, you know, Stacey just said, girl, well, whatever it is, I feel for you, but girl, I ain't do it. So find somebody else. And Mo said, well, time will tell. You know, and because I don't got the evidence to blame you right now, I just gotta wait. But the shade that you be taking in the after show be so crazy to me. It don't be making sense. And what I'm probably gonna enjoy though is seeing how you sit up here and you're more so teaming up with your good girl Ashley and shit. And one thing about Ashley, baby, Ashley gets on everybody's head. Okay, Ashley, if she's on this show next season and to follow, you and her gonna be butting heads too. And I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. But this was your good Judy though, right? This the one you protected, right? Yeah, the same one that was trying to create an issue with you and Stacey and gonna sit up there and say that she didn't know if you was gonna clock Stacey, but she got your best interest. Oh, okay then. Well, best of luck. Angel tells the ladies about what they're going to be doing the next day. They'll be going to a signature airport and going to Aspen on a private jet, then Kimosabi and stuff, which is like a celeb haven, and they're going to probably see other people or whatever. So they're going to have a lot going on, okay? I think she said private jet, all of that, right? But they got to be back at 7 so that they can get ready to have a lovely dinner. So here go Kay. Kay says, well, I think we should have a pajama party. First of all, that would have pissed me the fuck. Not even gonna hold y'all. If I have my day planned out and then somebody throws a wrench in it and like, oh, we should do this, that might irritate me. That might irritate me. But I know production told Kay to ask that, because production wants to have one full thing with everybody and not just over there. You know, they live production on trips. They live for like their pajama nights or whatever the things that the ladies do at night. They live for that. So I know production told Kay to bring it up. But that definitely would have irritated. Like, yeah, I would have been like, bitch, girl, I was finna be done with you. It was about 7, 8, eat. I'm finna go to sleep. Like, what you talking about? Right? But you filming a job, right? So it's different. Mo says, she said, well, y'all want to come back? Because you know Angel not finna have them at her house doing no sleepover. Okay, you know that. So when Mo was like, y'all want to come back, pack y'all bags and come back to the Airbnb with us? Baby, the look Angel gave was, bitch, who? The look Angel gave was, who, ho? I'm not staying in that shit. I said, oh, this an uppity bitch right here. Okay? I'm not even mad at it. I'm used to the finer things in life. Who finna go stay there? Not me, baby. Listen, I was with Angel just a little piece. That BIT said, I got to check with Bobby. No, she didn't say check with. I feel like those are two different things. I got to ask Bobby. I got to check with Bobby either way. Moral of the story, she got to check in with her husband, right? And see, because he wasn't prepared to do bedtime with the kids alone after having them all day. Okay? So Monique says, oh, that's just a dad being the dad. Like, you know, oh, he could do that. That's just a dad being the dad. Angel like, bitch, hold up now. Okay, don't tell me nothing because she already irritated with y'all for real. Okay, she's already irritated. Kay done brought up this damn sleepover. Then not only do we gotta do it, but I gotta go an hour out. So it's funny as hell because the same thing you put them through, Angel, hanging out with you, then they gotta drive an hour back. They finna have you come out there, right? Hang out with them, and then you gotta drive an hour back because we know that you're not staying there. Okay, so child, everything. This whole trip is just fucking hilarious to me. All right. But I kind of didn't blame Angel put her hand up at Monique. Like BITCH, you don't know my family dynamic. Okay? Shut the hell up. I already heard that you was talking about me already. Oh, that's just a dad being a dad. Girl, hold on. Hold on. Scoot back up out my shit for just a second, please. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Bobby, she goes and talk to Bobby, tell Bobby everything that's going on, right? Which confirms that Bobby ain't tripping. Like he did say, like, yeah, it'll suck. You know what I'm saying? It'll suck. I gotta put them to bed at night. And I know they're gonna be wanting to see you or whatever the case is, right? But it's up to you. What you trying to do? And she said, he was like, you wanna go? And she was like, I really don't wanna go. He said, well then shit, cool. You ain't gotta go then. I mean, you gonna be with them all day. Listen. I think Bobby is going to get a lot of slack for Angel's choices because Angel, and I feel like Ashley clocked it perfectly, I will say, Angel uses him as her deflection in a sense. So it may come off like Bobby may be this certain type of person when really Angel is not keeping it a buck. It's not that I don't think Angel doesn't like the ladies and doesn't want to film with the ladies, but I think that Angel has a capacity meter a little bit, and which may make for her to not be a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like after I've spent so much of time with you, it's like, okay, all right, bitch, I'm cool now. Like I ain't trying to hang out with y'all like that. Like, girl, I'm trying to go be with my family, my kids. I'm just getting back to Colorado. Like I'm trying to chill. Every time I'm with y'all, it's some shit. Like she might need to exit stage left, right? Because of that. So Giselle goes on to say, well, it was weird. I think it was weird for her to ask her husband that. Bitch, it's not weird. I don't care what nobody's talking about. If you and your husband have a certain type of family dynamic and a routine at night for your child, I think there's nothing wrong with her talking to her husband. Like, okay, I know you were already prepared for this, that, and the other. Let me just give you this heads up. So we're gonna do a pajama thing that night. Da 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 da. Now I feel like that's a part of communicating with your partner. I don't think that's weird at all in my personal. Giving them a heads up. Now, granted, you are filming, right? Yes, he's aware that you're filming. However, he may be in his head under, even if the kids ain't got nothing to do with it, it's just the communication factor of, okay, boom, so we filming from here to here. This is what our schedule looking like. So we got to it. Because let's say that man has some plan for his wife later that day. Right? And I think, and she may or may not have known it. Maybe he was gonna surprise her with something. Who knows? But I think it makes sense to communicate with your partner and let them know, like, okay, boom, we were supposed to be filming done by 10, but they just added this other piece to where we're going to be going over. I'm probably going to go over there with the girls. I see nothing wrong with that. Like, what we doing? So Ashley says, Bobby, now Ashley, she right. Ashley right. Ashley's right. Ashley said, Bobby's her security blanket when she doesn't want to do stuff. B-I-T. And it's not even just Bobby, it's family. Family is a security blanket when you don't want to do shit. It be like that. Maybe, yeah, women they gonna use their kids sometimes. Like, girl, I'm being my child. It's just and I know some people would rather you say, bitch, I just ain't trying to come. And I feel like maybe people don't say that because maybe one of them days they do want to come. You're going to get tired of hearing, I ain't trying to come. Girl, let me just put it on the kids real quick. Child, my baby got to get up early, girl. I'm going to get the house. Okay? So if that's what it is, not even faulting Angel for that. Like, I do believe Bobby is her security blanket. I think that your partner should be your security blanket. Even when you don't want to do shit. Okay? So Ashley says that she thinks it's going to depend on how the day goes for them. I said, bitch, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, girl, I'm a piece of Angel. Be mad, girl. Fight me. Fight me tomorrow, though. Don't put your hands on me today, girl. Fight me tomorrow. Okay? I am a piece of angel. It depends on my day. When I am, that's why I could not do reality TV. I just cannot. I cannot. Cause sometimes I can't do it. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. But I am her. When I go on trips, I get to this place where my meter is up. It is up. Sometimes it ain't got anything to do with you. Sometimes y'all bitches energy is just too much for me. It's gonna depend on the day. Girl, if I go over to this thing because I committed to something and say that I'm going to go, I'm not being there long. I'm not. So what you finna do? You need to go and get it up out of here, baby. Because I'm not gonna be there long. I'm just sorry. I'm not finna do it. It's been a long ass day. Okay. So yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Um the ladies Angel, you do need your ass whoop a little. And you know what? I'm not gonna put it on you by yourself, girl. We gonna have to call production in the room. Okay? Because everybody need to get tagged. The fact that these ladies are riding back in the pitch dark, it was so fucked up and dangerous in my personal, but at the same time, I could not be mad because that's what you just get. That's what you get. Even if you feel like I'm coming for you, even if you feel like I don't care. I do not care. That's what you get. Ride in the dark. Ride in the dark. You bitches want to ride in the dark when you feel like you knew too much about my fucking finances. You just felt like y'all was in the light, like y'all had all the information, right? You got out all the answers, Sway, right? Well, figure that shit out in the pitch dark. How about that? I know that's fucking right, Angel. I don't give a damn. I'll be mad about it. Can't stand a kicker in the butt. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You bitches had so much to say. You know so much about my life. Y'all are the lights of the world. Well, guess what? Light up this pitch dark ass path y'all finna go on to that household. Like, I would not have cared. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't act like that earlier. Y'all could see through my finances and my eviction, right? See through the dark. What you talking about? Don't call my mother house, okay? So funny. But listen, Angel, this way you really should have got your tail. You should have got a paddle. No. To have these ladies out like that and to come back and they ain't got no water, let me at her. Let me at her because, girl, where's the brick? Let me at her. Okay? Girl. Ooh. I hope y'all got y'all money back. I hope the network got their money back. And you know what? It's just crazy because I'm thinking about one of my friends that went to, I think she went to, was it Costa Rica or somewhere she went and they were having issues similar to that at their Airbnb property or whatever. BIT, imagine being in another country and you dealing with that. So when they talked about this, I'm not surprised because I've heard, like just last year, my homegirl telling me a story about when they took this trip. And I'm like, damn, terrible. Then on top of that, having to deal with like little bugs and shit. You just don't know what you're getting. The property look beautiful on the little site or whatever, right? So to see this, I wasn't really surprised, you know. But the moment they weren't getting no water, I think it is time. Because what, they've been there 2 days. I think it is time to switch up. I think it's time to like leave this property. I'm sorry. It may be time. So the next morning, nobody's heard from Angel just yet. So I guess they're trying to get their cues, like what's next, where we going, whatever. They said the chef had to go downstairs and cut the water on because whatever they was doing over there on the YouTube wasn't working. So they had to go down there and get the water cut on. Giselle said she finna take over the accommodations from here. I said, baby, listen, I'm not mad at you, girl. Take over the accommodations, but to take over the trip, no, ma'am. That I don't agree with. But if you're gonna take over where you guys are staying at, handle your business, mommy dearest. So Angel didn't want this to be a narrative with the ladies, right? And I understand because, like I said, I've heard some of these stories, or at least I heard one, before. So Giselle is gonna relocate the ladies at some point, and Angel says Jassy told her what Monique has been saying about Bobby. Mm-mm. I said, "Oh, that's so messy." I mean, granted, I do believe Monique gonna tell Angel to her face. I don't think Monique's afraid to say that. Like, girl, yeah, like telling you to your face, right? And you know what's so funny to me? I feel like how Monique is going to try to show up for Angel. Angel does this with other wags, right? Not so much as I could see through stuff because I have experienced it with my husband, but more so I think Angel tries to show up like a big sister or something like that with the wags. And I think that Monique in her head may be thinking that's how she's kind of showing up with Angel or something, like been there, done that. I can relate. My man was in the league for oh so long and did all this other stuff. Yeah, I think that's probably what she gonna think. But anywho, Angel says, girl, the only similarities we do got together is football. Let's not and say that we did. And I'm like, I can see that. Cause again, Bobby don't really come off like that. When she told him back in wherever they were, Maryland, oh, you know, I'm trying to do this and that for the girls. He was like, all right, bet I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna cook this, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna da. She was like, no, baby, you ain't gotta do that. He was like, you sure I want you had to worry about nothing? Bitch, have we heard Chris say that? When Monique, I don't recall it. I don't recall that. So I'm like, I don't know if Angel is going through and having to do everything. There may be certain things that she handles and she may do a good job at handling that than him. And he may have certain things that he handles that's better than what she do. So I don't know. We shall see. Okay. We shall see. So Kiana is like, that kind of nonsense is crazy. Okay. She says, I get that you were recently divorced, but we don't know what your marriage was like, girl. For you to be trying to, you know, say that it's similarities and you see what she's going through and you can relate and all this stuff, like, girl, what? And that's when I said, I need to see more of Bobby. Okay. Because Bobby to me seems to be a willing participant. He seems to be an active father. He just does not give the same as Chris, in my opinion. Okay. And that could change. But in this moment, I don't see it. Right. What else? I will say this. I have been a person that has felt like Angel. I think I've wavered, right? I've tried to give her chances and stuff. I'm like, Angel should lead the show, whatever like that. And I'm like, nah, keep her on the show. She needs some time to warm up. Because that's just how it is. At this point, with seeing the ladies try to make it a bigger issue when it comes to one's marriage. Oh, Ashley with the temper comment. Oh, Giselle. Oh, that was weird that she had to ask him. Right? Giselle with the, oh, I can relate, da. Some part of me thinks, Angel, in my opinion, for the safety of your marriage, you might not need to come back to the show. And it makes me think of something that Meredith told Bronwyn when Bronwyn was sitting at the table and she was talking about her marriage or something. And the ladies was like, oh, so I thought you guys were separated. And she was like, no, me and Todd are happy or whatever. And Meredith said, well, I wasn't there, so I can't speak to that. But one thing I can tell you with the knowing these ladies, as long as I have, they're not going to stop. And I'm like, BIT, you right. Knowing these ladies, they're not going to stop. And if you're not strong-minded enough for this group, they will have you second guessing things that are not a problem and therefore creating problems within your situation. Okay? In my personal, unless you are reacting because there are things going on in your marriage. So I don't know. But that's just what I was thinking about. But yeah. Think about that. Let's see. Was there anything else? Yeah, Monique brings up the pajama party comments and says that Angel throwing her up her hand is what made Monique think that Angel was triggered. And I'm like, no, she wasn't triggered by that or whatever you think it is as it relates to Chris and your marriage. I think if she was triggered by anything, it was the fact that she already heard you talking shit. And she really wants you to hold what you got and chill the fuck out because she already see the narratives and whatever you trying to push. Like, girl, chill, hold what you got. Okay? Mo does say when you've experienced certain things, you are close to being like depleted. Like when I can, relate to that, experiencing certain things, and when you're being close to being depleted and all this. And I'm like, I don't get no vibes. And granted, Mo sees more than what we see, but I don't on my screen, I'm not seeing that yet. When you were on screen, I definitely saw that. I definitely saw that. I didn't necessarily see that with Angel and Bobby on screen yet. So the verdict is still out. Okay. What else is going on? I think that was pretty much it. I mean, there's other stuff that I haven't really tapped into, so we may do it like another video or something, like the after show. I know that Angel and Bobby were on Watch What Happens Live. I did not watch it. I did come across a clip where they kind of talked about her husband being on the show or whatever like that, and Bobby saying something like, these ladies, Angel represents everything that these ladies tried to play up to be on this show or whatever, and he's pretty much there to be whatever it is Angel needs him to be in that moment and for the show. So basically saying that she has his full support when it comes to doing the show, and he spoke highly of his wife, yeah, I think they asked him how did he feel about the show, like, or something like that, or his position, like, what do you think your position is on the show, or something like that. He was like, it's whatever my wife needed to be. So as of right now, and keep in mind, things could change once we see more of Bobby. But right now, I can't say that I fully see it. But I will not outrule when they were on that trip. And when Angel got to rambling, and then Kay came back inside and said that she going through something right now. So I'm like, well, what y'all going through? What y'all got going on? Now, one thing that I am wondering is was Bobby ready to get back to Colorado? Was he ready to get back to Colorado because he wasn't trying to be in Maryland? Is that what was really going on? And you just telling us that you didn't know that the Airbnb was going to be up, but Bobby just really wanted to get back to his house in Colorado? That could be something. Possibly. But we'll see. Because if she do this show long enough, it's going to show. Whatever the issues, whatever the things are that people feel they are getting from Bobby, it's going to show if she's on this show long enough. Okay. So there's that. I don't think I got no other thoughts on Potomac at this time. Make sure you guys like up the video. And in a second, we are going to get into Married to Medicine. Okay. So I'll give you guys some time to do that for your girl. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So we're about to talk about Married to Medicine. Let me go ahead and get my notes up over here so that we could chat about the show. Don't forget, I did drop my episode 3 review for Traders. So for those people that are tuned into Traders and you want to chat about it a little piece, make sure you check out that video because I did upload that earlier today. So all 3 videos are up as of now. Okay. So we're over here on Married to Medicine. And is it me? I don't know why I just feel like Married to Medicine's buzz on Twitter and stuff isn't as loud as it was last year. And maybe that's because they had Quad coming back to the show along with Dr. Gregory. And it's not as crazy then. I feel like it was a lot of like conversations around it. And we are in what episode is this? It's just like episode 5, so maybe we need to give it some more time for the build up. But it's not a bad season so far. Not a bad season. Y'all know Quad and King, because that's where I'm gonna start. They went over to Ghana, right? Quad is trying to conceive, and they got back. Everything seems to be going decent. We'll see what's gonna happen. Now, Quad did get caught up in a lotto. Y'all know Quad sat up there and said that she be hunching that man 15 times a week. But when Dr. Heavenly and Angel brought it up, she was looking damn confused. I said, oh, okay. So you just said that to get at Dr. Greg. I'm screaming. I'm screaming, girl. Mm-mm. So what we do learn though is that they have 4 eggs being fertilized in Ghana. Okay, so she's waiting to get the results on that. She's hoping to get 100% fertilization, and they're praying for an embryo. So we shall see. Okay, if she does not get what it is that she wants, I do think that Quad should seek a new scout. I do. I think Quad should seek a new scout, and I think let King move forward. King does go and he talks with Eugene and Cecil, and he lets them know that it was supposed to be 1 trip, and now it's 5. I wonder how much that cost. He says it's taking a lot of time away from his business, his daughter, and he says starting over is a lot. And also catering to somebody else's needs and stuff and not his is a lot. When I hear King say that, it does let me know, and this doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. I think as much as he wants Quad to like realize certain things, I think she does, but I also think he need to realize he ain't trying to be married either. So not only does he really not want another child, I don't think King wants to be married because he's not at that place where he really wants to cater to somebody else's needs. And it's very difficult. He hasn't been through this before, so I'll give him that. But he ain't ready for what she wants. So she tells him in the confessional that it's not fair to him, right? That he has to deal with everything that she has going on with trying to conceive. And he tells her it's not about what's fair to him. It's about what's right. And he says right now, she needs his support. And I do agree with that. I do think it was performative, but I do agree with that. Now, Cecil says if he brings up what he needs right now, then he'd be selfish. And I said, Cecil, well, you would know a lot about that based on how they have you showing up on this show. Okay? Period. Now, like I said, I do agree with King, though. I do think he's right. I think he is overwhelmed, right? I think he does need to support her as her partner in this moment. I think he should put his feelings to the side, but you committed to this journey, so it really shouldn't be no damn complaints. To me, not too many. Because you committed to this journey, and I refuse to believe that you weren't given a heads up on what this process could look like. I think King set himself up for the downfall by believing it was supposed to be a one and done type of situation. Yeah. But anywho, I can see that he's second guessing this whole thing. And the biggest thing, I don't think King really want to start over. I don't think King wants to start over, have another child. I don't think he wants that. My biggest thing is that I think ultimately he should just be honest with Quad. I think he should have communicated that earlier on, to be honest with you, and let her know, like, I ain't want no child. Like, I really don't. I feel like King may have felt guilted. I think he felt guilted into making this decision that he's not really ready for. I think he was kind of like, I don't know, I think he felt bad for her because like I told y'all earlier on, I felt like King shows up like he doing her a favor type of thing. And I just be honest, communicated, which is what I think he tried to do at the end of the episode. I think if she tries to push this and force this, like, I just don't think it's gonna turn out well. So, and that's just my opinion, child. I'm just a viewer again, giving an opinion, honey. I ain't no expert like Dr. Mimi. Okay, I do think they're gonna resent each other. I think she should let that man go on about his business, honestly. Or what? Yeah, we'll talk about that more later on. So Heavenly and the girls, they update Quad on the Toya and Heavenly beef, right? Because Quad was gone, she back. Heavenly says that Toya talked about her child. Now mother. Now Angel was about to defend Toya, and Heavenly gonna say, well, I feel like I could talk about anything after you speak on my child. I feel like I could do that. When you talk about my child, I can say anything I want to say about you. And I'm like, girl, number one, Toya was not talking about your child. Not in no negative way. All she was saying when she brought up your child was that you was using your child's decisions in that situation to avoid the group. Okay? That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is the fact that you always speaking on somebody's household and a relationship. And Toya just returning the favor, but not in the same manner. Okay? Now, you can't be mad at Toya because you made the decision to cuss your damn son out because he embarrassed you. Okay? And Toya, at the time, didn't even know that you cussed your damn son out. So why are you trying to put this on Toya? That's why I was glad Contessa was like, but why are we even talking about your child if it happened years ago? And Toya didn't even say anything about your child. Like, girl, what are we doing? Heavenly said, well, it came up in the blogs. So Contessa gonna laugh and say she wonders if Simone did that based on her saying that she looks into everybody's SHI because she can. That's what Simone said. When Quad said, why you be doing that? She's like, because I can. So Quad sits back and Quad says, now what type of friend looks up everybody's stuff? I don't know, Quad. Maybe you should ask your damn self that. Remember when you sat up there on Heavenly's YouTube? Or was that on the show where you claimed to know also much about Toya's finances, where she got her money, how she got her money for her house, all this and that, and you said you knew where all the bones were buried. So I think you might want to go to your nearest mirror and ask your damn self that question first. So what we're not going to do is sit up here and act like Simone is the only one that looks up people's stuff on this show. And as much as Heavenly talks about everybody on her show, I'm sure she looks up too when y'all not running over there giving her all y'all damn information. Okay? But yeah, start with yourself, Quad, because you definitely did that. But happy Founders Day. So Heavenly says if she had Quad's VIN, not Simone, but you going too far. Heavenly says, Simone said, if I had Quad's VIN number, I'd look up who owns the car too. Y'all know who else would do that? Toya. Toya probably already got the VIN number. That's the gag to me. Toya probably already got the VIN number, know who owns it, know who runs the business. Toya already know everything she need to know on that car. Now, Dr. Mimi and Steve, they're home with their son. They sent Savannah to go be with her grandma for the time to give her a break because having a brother that has special needs can be a lot. You know, maybe some of that responsibility falls on her. So they want to give her a break. And I also think that as parents, they may need that break just slightly to not have to worry about her because they're so focused on him at this time. And, you know, it's a lot of stress for them. It's a lot of stress. I really felt for Dr. Mimi in this moment, her and her husband. And it really softened my heart towards her whenever I see these scenes with them and their dynamic with their son. Because y'all know Dr. Mimi will get on my nerves sometimes, especially when people arguing and she get in front of them dancing. It's like, girl, don't get hit. Scoop back up off me. Okay. But outside of that, I'm glad that they are putting this on display because it's a lot of people that can relate to what they are going through and probably maybe in their DMs to offer them some type of support, advice, anything, you know, resources. So good for them. I'm glad they are showing that side. But what I absolutely loved about this scene was how her husband was showing up. How her husband was showing up. I'm going to tell y'all, Dr. Mimi, your husband couldn't be on Potomac. Not that man. Not that man. He couldn't be on Potomac. The way that will wear him down. And y'all got your own issues at the house. The way that will wear him down. You say that you got emotional. What she said? Emotional intelligence. She in control. No, they going to make you lose it. Make me lose my breath. They will make you lose it, girl, for real. Okay? She was like, oh, you know, I feel like y'all deserve cooking this and that. And he's like, girl, we fine without it. I'm like, exactly. Like, you go get you a break. You go do this. Like, you chill. I got him. Thank you. That's how it's supposed to be. And I shouldn't have to ask you to do those things. You know, really. You just show up and do that because women loves initiative and consideration. Like, do what you're supposed to do. I appreciate that. Do your part. So, I really liked, I liked that he did. I like how he showed up and did this thing. And his son, you could tell that, to me, his daddy is his main man. Like, that's his man. When she said daddy's on the way, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, he not. Yes, he is. That's his main man. To me, I think he just really enjoys his dad. Not that he don't enjoy his mama, because he do enjoy his mama, but I just think that he really enjoys that connection with his father. So yeah, Heavenly, she goes, she meets with her brother. All right. We learn that Heavenly has a brother. She learns that when her brother was conceived, her daddy was married, child. They about 4 years or so apart. They're both in their 50s and they both look good. Not gonna hold y'all. Them folks look good, period. Heavenly, you get on my nerves just a little piece, girl, and then I like you on these days. But you are a beautiful woman. Okay. Heavenly says that her father was a deacon at the church, y'all. I need y'all to stop thinking so highly of people that y'all done put on a pedestal and in the pulpit. Got some pastors' kids watching me right now who probably was outside children. How y'all doing? Okay. But I ain't talking about y'all like that. I'm just saying, I'm talking about the people in the church, okay? Bring it down some. Okay? Cause them be the biggest sinners. Okay? Anywho, and got the audacity to put a robe on like they royalty and go sit up there and act how y'all act. And this ain't everybody, but it's some of y'all down there to the church cutting up. What Tina Turner said, what that lady said when she was singing This Little Light of Mine, I'ma Let It Shine. Can't be what she said, doing all that bourgeois and all that. Gotta show the Lord a little more respect. That's what y'all need to do down to that church. Anyway, okay. So she said that her dad was a deacon and that you never would have thought he'd be a cheater like that. Okay. And now her mind about men has changed. And I said, so does that mean that your mind has changed about your husband? Because your daddy wasn't trustworthy and you're learning this all these years later, and the fact that your husband withheld information about your son's arrest, are you now about to start questioning Damon? Oh, okay. So they're bonding over their dad and their issues with their sons and stuff. So she brings up the fact that she wants to do like a family reunion, have him come out, really nice, all cute. That's what they got going on. So everybody trying to get their mac together. Okay. They're trying to get the mac and cheese together. Heavenly says she's gonna have a cook-off, but she over there calling Jackie, who I refuse to believe Jackie know how to make mac and cheese. So out of everybody that she called, I feel like she should have called Quad. Like, out of everybody she called about mac and cheese, I want to believe that Quad is the only one that know how to really throw down mac and cheese. That's who you should have called. Okay? Or either call one of these men. But if it had to be a lady, you should have called Quad. Now, Eugene is not going to be cooking. Cecil's supposed to be cooking. But Toya and Eugene got their son cooking. I'm here for it. I love it. I'm here for it. Let him do the thing. Okay. Simone goes from she's in there talking to her husband about it. Y'all don't appreciate my cooking, whatever it is. She goes on to talk about how they don't appreciate her as a doctor. So we right back here because she not over it because ain't nothing get resolved. Right? So she says no one has come and asked her how they can help her take something off her plate. Right? She says no one gives a fuck about her. And so she says she's trying to pretty much return the favor. You don't give a damn about me. I don't give a fuck about you. It's just that simple, right? So, Cecil's like, who don't help you out? I don't help you out. I do help you out. And she says, I'm talking about with the boys. When she said with the boys, y'all, I really thought about money. Because I honestly thought that's what she was going to say. You don't help me out with the money when it comes to the boys. That's why I thought. She just said with the boys. So he's saying that he do help her out or whatever the case is. He's like, you say stuff to hurt my feelings too. If you can hurt people's feelings and apologize and move on, I should be able to, apologize after I hurt your feelings and we move on for this. Basically, Cecil tired of talking about it. That's what I got. Okay. And at some point, they got to laughing. He and ha-haing about something. And we'll be right back here again in a few episodes. Okay. So they get to do the good times and friends. I guess it was supposed to be good times and friends, but playing on the last name. Cute. One of the sons showed up. The other did not. She said that she texted him, but she hasn't heard anything. And when I was looking at that scene from like Heavenly's shirt up, I said, Heavenly looks so good. Go ahead, girl. Toya and Eugene show up with their handsome young boys, and she brings up Heavenly's son being the only one to show up, and she laughs. I said, now see Toya? Now see Toya. Now that part right there, don't go no further than that. Because you just might be pushing it, girl. Okay? Don't say nothing else about it. All right. Now this is where Toya I feel, I want her to stop. Put a pin in it right now. Don't go no further. Okay. Dr. Mimi and Steve, they show up with their people, whatever the case is. Steve talks about how he don't know his dad or whatever. Mimi said something about she gonna find the dad or whatever. I'm like, okay, they'll figure that out. Quad and King showed up. They done parked their handicap. Listen, mind y'all business. Okay. Now, Quad and King may look like able-bodied people parking in this handicap. But a handicap comes in different ways. A lot of people like to think about handicaps as if they ride around in a motor chair. And that's not the case. They may have vision issues or something like that. I don't know them folk got going on. I done seen plenty of older folks pull up in these nice vehicles with their handicap tag. So I just mind my business. I just mind my business a little piece. Anyway. Angel arrives with a man and friends, which is interesting because, Angel, you do say that you're single, but you're bringing this man to a family reunion. How single are you? Everybody's shocked by the fact that Heavenly has a brother and her being so receptive to them, because I guess nobody else would be receptive to their siblings if they found out their daddy cheated on the mama and had an outside child. Do what y'all want to do. Toya going around cheating in this mat competition. I hollered. Because everybody was telling on her, but guess who won? Her son. I said, bitch, I know that's right. You better cheat and advocate for your motherfucking child. Baby, Quad was mad as hell. But I did not care. I did not care. I said, girl, you better get over there and do what you're supposed to do. Okay? Angel brings a guy that she's been dating on and off for about a decade. And Toya's a little confused because she's trying to find out, like, I thought you wanted me to hook you up with somebody. And she was like, I mean, yeah, I did. But, I still got me a little piece over here, girl. And then I think Toya asked, how is Angel in bed? And I'm like, that's none of your business, girl. You so nosy. Get up out of here. But the guy said he wants a relationship, though. The guy wants a relationship. But I'm wondering what happened in this decade-long friendship that y'all got, or on and off situationship, that leaves Angel to where she don't want to be in that with you. Is you a hoe? What's going on? Okay. Review getting real quick because I feel like it wasn't a lot going on. More so King and Quad this episode. So we get back to King and Quad. She gets an email and he's like, okay, I'm about to hear it, ready to hear this information. I want 4 boys. I'm ready for you to give me an heir. He already got 1 daughter, right? So she get the text. And when she reads the text, it just seems like only 1. That's what it sounded like to me. Because I think she said they had 5, 1 fell out, then it was 4, and then now 1 seems to be moving to another stage, whereas the other 3 are stagnant. So now I think she may have 1. That's what it sounds like, but I don't know how that 1 is performing. Okay, but either way, she cries and she says she feels like a failure. And she says it feels unfair when she's trying to do everything right and in order and in sync. I don't think this is right, in order, or in sync in my personal, but okay. So he tells her she has to think about it and make sure that it isn't, that it's not doing a lot to her mental, like wearing and tearing on her emotionally and stuff. So if she decides to do this process again, she's ready for it. And although this does sound supportive, and I feel like, okay, I hear you, I also feel like he was kind of I just feel like it was giving a little bit of discouragement too at the same time. Like, because I think he's using certain words to disguise as though he's being supportive, but at the same time, he's not. I think he wants her to come to her own conclusion, which is his conclusion, that she doesn't want to do this anymore. And it's like, Clean, just tell the lady you don't want to do this. I think he may still want to be in a relationship with her, though, but he just don't want no kids. But he also knows if that's a desire of hers, not a desire of his, then we're going to break up. So you might have to just be okay with the breakup. So she asked if he doesn't want to do this anymore, and he says, let's be realistic, okay? He was like, he was pretty much telling her that he was okay with not having any more kids. And he was just pretty much supporting her and doing this for her. I said, damn, another confirmation. As I said, what I was already thinking, okay? King felt like he was doing her a favor. He's like, girl, this process is very expensive. And she said, but we always knew that. True. He says, yeah, but I thought it was going to be like a one and done. I'm like, I'm sure they already communicated to you all of the possibilities. But she says she wants to do it again and she'll pay for it and he doesn't have to do anything. So basically, Quad, you are pretty much just agreeing with the fact that he is just going to be your sperm donor. That's all kids. King is just a sperm donor. That's it. I think Quad is aware. I don't think it's going to be anything more than what it is. He's a sperm donor. He is just a sperm donor that she happens to know and date. That's it. Because I was like, Quad, do you hear yourself? You going to take care of it? That's too much. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you can take care of it and stuff like that because I'm thinking about Ebony K. Williams. There are other women out there. You take care of it all by yourself, but you might have to, if you're going to do all of that, you might as well separate from him a little piece to me. Because I feel like at some point you're going to get tired of the fact that you, even though you're paying for everything, this is a shared child with him, but you're running all of the work financially, emotionally, physically. Like, what? And then after you had a child, I'm sure that's going to be all on you too. Just go find a damn stranger then. Because maybe his sperm ain't taking with your sperm. Even though y'all hunching 15 times a day, let you tell it. So yeah, he asking, when do we say enough is enough? And let's be practical, baby. Girl, King ass would have had to leave. King would have had to get out right there. You could go ahead and go. Because she just told you she willing to pay for it. So obvious, I know you want her to probably be practical. But when she knows that a woman that was what she said 50 or something like that had twins, like she's like, I am being practical. Anything is possible. Okay, now if you don't want to be here, then just say that. Stop trying to create stuff for me to change my damn mind and just simply change your own. And then she gets to cry and begs him not to do this to her because she's been through so much. And I said, that is guilt tripping in my personal. And I feel like that is how you got here in the first place. And shame on him for knowing this is not what he wanted. I understand him being in a relationship and he wants to kind of give her that, right? See her happy, give her that. I could do that for you. But also, it could hurt you. It could hurt you. As you kind of were talking about earlier in the episode, that you giving so much of yourself to make this person happy, and then you over here just sleep miserable at the same time. And let's be clear, in my personal, I understand we may see people as great fathers and make the assumption that they're going to be a great father to your child. Not always the case. He may be a great father to that little girl. He might feel completely detached to this child right here, because it wasn't conceived in a way that he's used to the child being conceived. I mean, look at all the back and forth he's been giving you on this whole entire process. So I don't know. It's sad though. I hate to see her cry. I know that's something that she wants. I think that is something that could potentially still happen for her. I don't think she needed to go to Ghana for that. In my personal, I feel like to go all the way to Ghana, I don't know why in my head I'm wondering, is there something that's even more wrong that Jackie cannot help with? Because if Jackie specializes in this and she's able to help so many women have children, that then she create her own surrogacy program, I thought, or company, organization, whatever. So it's like, I don't need to know everything that's going on with Quad, but it just made me question like what's really going on to the point that you had to go over to Ghana. And I understand you saying the older lady was able to have twins or whatever. She went to Ghana, whatever it was that you said. But is that your exact same situation? Like, I don't know. It makes me think it's something deeper that Jackie couldn't help with or something. I hate that for her. That's a lot. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe just the wrong person. I don't know quite. But I definitely wish her the best though. Cause that's sad. And also, as much as it may be painful for her at this time, I mean, it could be like a saving grace. Like you just never know what you're being protected from at this time. Maybe that's not the route that you're supposed to go. Maybe you parting ways with King and you meeting another guy a year or so later, you know, that may be perfect, you know, and you wouldn't have to go through that process. You may just naturally conceive your child out of love in a better relationship. So I hate it for her. Really sad. I'm sure a lot of women are, you know, going through similar to what Quad's going through. Maybe they can't afford IVF or something. I don't know. Or struggling to pay for it. Can't go over there to what is the place called? Ghana or something. I don't know their situations. But I'm sure some people can relate to this. But it's sad. And I hate that for her. You know? And she's like, please don't do this to me. I'm just like, you ain't, girl, you could do this by yourself. You ain't got to beg him to do shit. You know? Because you might beg him and still be doing this shit by yourself. So I don't know. If he don't want to do it, don't make him do it. Because I just don't think that's good to me. And I'm not saying he will harm his child or anything. I don't know. But child, people do resent their kids. I don't know, child. Good luck. Good luck to Miss Quad. Hoping she could figure everything out. Yeah, good luck. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna slide up off this thing. Y'all be sure to like up the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. I'm JamiThatsMe, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith.